These are pictures from inside the control room in India just before the actual moment itself. Now, there were a tense few minutes as the lander descended very slowly towards the moon's surface. Now, just to quickly explain, the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, wasn't there. He was beamed in watching on a screen, and also on the screen there in the control room was a graphic, a representation of the spacecraft as it descended. Right, let's take a look at the moment itself. And you can see all the celebrations, the tension, the relief. They've done something which is very, very difficult indeed. Only the fourth country to successfully land on the moon at all. And in the last few hours, they have released these pictures, which are remarkable pictures of the surface. So these are images from the lander horizontal velocity camera taken during that actual descent. And also in the last hour or so, Russia has congratulated India on its mission. That's significant because Russia tried to do exactly the same thing, land near the South Pole a few days ago, but that crashed, that failed. India, however, have succeeded. Let's take a listen to the Prime Minister.
India's successful moon mission is not just India's alone. This is a year in which the world is witnessing India's G20 presidency. Our approach of one Earth, one family, one future is resonating across the globe.
Well, Rebecca Morel is our science editor. Hi, Rebecca. So just tell us a bit about why this is so significant.
Yeah, well, it's great to see these images that have come back down, isn't it? I mean, this really is a massive moment for India. It really kind of pushes them up there on the space superpower list. You know, only a few nations have actually done this. They've managed to land on the surface, safely on the surface of the moon. You've got the US, you've got the former Soviet Union, you've got China, and now India is added to that list. And on a fraction of the budget that other major space agencies have done this too. But I think what's really exciting actually is the place that they've landed near the lunar South Pole. Now, you know, look at these images. This looks like a really kind of desolate, you know, barren place strewn with boulders, these huge impact craters. What could possibly be there? You know, it's an area that sees hardly any sunlight. But the interesting thing in this area is frozen water. So inside these craters, which sort of sit permanently in shadow, in the bottom of them, scientists think there's frozen water, and that's an incredibly important resource for future astronauts who are going to be visiting the moon. You know, NASA are sending astronauts back to the moon in the next few years. They're hoping to build a lunar base there. Having water, access to water, is really important. But also water, if you split it up into its constituent parts, hydrogen and oxygen, then that could provide the fuel you need, rocket fuel, to actually hop off onto other places. So, you know, could the moon become a bit of a staging post to get to Mars and beyond? And India is the first country to go there, and its rover, when it comes out to start exploring, it'll be the first place to actually sort of explore this really exciting area.
Rebecca, just let's look at what happens next. You started to talk about what kind of more distant future there, but the immediate future, the hard part, as it were, is done. It's landed, but the crucial next part is this rover, this smaller vehicle, getting out and exploring.
Yeah, that's right. And it's going to be quite a brief mission there, so it's not going to go on for sort of months and months. It's just a couple of weeks. But the rover there will start exploring the terrain. It will be looking at the minerals that are on the moon, learning about the water there, because there are loads of questions we don't know. So we think the water, the frozen water, is inside these big craters, but is there more on the surface? Is there a lot there? Does the amount keep on growing and being replenished kind of when more space rocks hit the moon, or does the water sort of, you know, go down? Is it water that's been frozen in time? Because the idea is that it was brought to the moon by asteroids, comets, which smacked into the moon early in its history. You know, is this pristine water from billions of years ago? You know, studying that could give us an idea and an insight into our early solar system. So there are so many questions there, but the exciting part for me is ahead. But it's always that landing, that moment when they sort of they pause in mission control those last few seconds, because you get one shot at this. It's either you come down safely or it's splat. And plenty of places have gone splat on the moon before. Russia just this week have shown how hard it is to actually get safely down to the lunar surface.
Yeah, those last few seconds of silence are so unnerving, aren't they? Rebecca, great stuff. Thanks very much for that. Now, both